Hey guys, what's up? It's Adam from GeekRest.com. This is another weekly recommendation video I'm putting together. You know the drill, I've been putting together these videos one a week. Basically just picking one book from the week's latest releases that I enjoyed the most and I want to recommend because I feel it will blow your mind. It's entirely up to you as to whether or not it does. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't actually have a physical copy of the book I'm recommending in front of me, but there it is. Digital Future. Batman Earth 1. Now, this is clearly a DC Comics book. It's actually a graphic novel. Foreign territory here. It's the first graphic novel I've actually reviewed with a recommendation video. This is written by Geoff Johns and illustrated by Gary Frank. And the Earth 1 books are... There's only two. The first one was Superman that was released back in 2010. DC Comics is kind of taking an Elseworlds approach to these books. They're modern retellings of the classic origin stories for their DC comic book characters. Like I said, the first one was Superman, set in the year 2010. This is where his origin story begins. Likewise, this book, Batman, takes place in 2012. And it's just, you know... I have to draw some comparisons here. The Amazing Spider-Man movie came out this week, and I loved it. That's a whole other video that I'll mention, you know, at the end of this one, actually. But it's going into it, my biggest concern was I don't want to hear the same origin story again. How many times have we heard it? Likewise, how many times have we heard the Batman origin story over and over again? Batman Year One, Frank Miller's run is like the definitive one, but we've seen it told over and over again in comic books and television shows and two movie franchises now. So I had my concerns going into it, but you know what? Like I said, it's a modern revamping and they do some twists and turns here, and Geoff Johns, he did a great job here. A really good job, because he changes the origin story just enough so that it's new and refreshing. I mean, like, really changes it. It throws in conspiracy theories. I'm not going to spoil anything here in this review, or this, you know, recommendation. I just want to tell you a little bit of what he did. A little twists and turns, a lot of conspiracy theories. I can say Oswald Cobblepot is mayor. Bruce Wayne, as he grows up after his parents' death, he believes there's a conspiracy. There was a conspiracy by Cobblepot to kill his parents. And it's just fantastic. And another thing that's important to mention is that when Batman Year One came out, Frank Miller's books, the story of Jim Gordon was just as important. His early days in Gotham City. Likewise, they had the same thing in this book. They show you a broken Jim Gordon. He's scared pretty much of the city and the people who are in control. He's almost like a puppet still. He's green, basically. He's not the commissioner that we know, that we all know in, like, you know, the current comic books. It's great to see that, and even more so, it's like Alfred Year One. We see Alfred like we've never seen him before. We see him introduced into the Wayne household when he first meets Bruce. We get a little bit of a backstory about how he knew Thomas Wayne and just how he steps in to become not only the legal guardian of Bruce Wayne, but his mentor in training him to become the Dark Knight. And I mean, when I say training, we don't see Batman, or Bruce Wayne, I should say, as a globe-trotting, you know, getting his training around the world and just martial arts, jiu-jitsu. He's training in Wayne Manor. He's a spoiled kid who's brought up in Gotham City, angry, just angry at the death of his parents. And Alfred kind of tutors him and trains him to be, like, you know, hone his skills. But he's just a man. The realism in this book is grounded through the writing and the artwork of illustrating Gotham City. So it's a very grounded, realistic, and relatable take on the origin story of Batman. And it's fantastic. It's really good. It's really fresh. And, you know, we see Batman with, you know, he's just a man putting on a cape and a cowl, and we see his eyes. We see, it's funny, Aaron from a comic shop, he said the eyes are the windows to the soul. And, you know, of course that's true, I feel. And we see that. We see his eyes when he's fighting crime. It adds like this whole human level that we don't usually see. We usually see the legend that is the Dark Knight that he's now established, but these are his beginning days, and he's still a man. We see him take out his grappling guns. They're like failing as he fires them. He's falling off of ledges. He's getting his ass whooped. He's green himself. These are his early days, and it's just fantastic to see. And like I said, Jim Gordon. We see Bullock. Amazing. Like, he's just like a Hollywood, ritzy guy stepping into Gotham City, and we see him transform, or at least start to transform, into the Harvey Bullock that we see down the line. Just fantastic. And Gary Frank illustrates this book. The artwork, if anything else, the artwork is what sells this book. It looks amazing. Gotham City looks fantastic. It looks so real. You believe the city exists. And, like I said, seeing Batman in the cape and the cowl, just like the rough edges before he's refined himself as the Dark Knight, Gary Frank just illustrates a beautiful, beautiful Batman. And I don't want to say too much more about it. It's just a fantastic origin story, revamped for the year 2012. So Batman Earth 1, check it out. It's in stores now. That's all I'm going to say about it, but it really is a solid recommendation. So, check out our preview page even if you want online. You will want to see more. I guarantee it. And that's it. That's my weekly recommendation video. Please, by all means, keep tuning in. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Wow, you guys have been really good. I've been having some really good conversations with you guys on Twitter. And so, keep it up. The address is right there. And I don't know if you've seen The Amazing Spider-Man yet, but we just did a little mini podcast with the guys from Nerdy Show, and I'll post a link down there in the description of this video. By all means, if you've seen the video and you got 30 minutes to kill, listen to our discussion on it. It's actually very fun. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for tuning in to geekrest.com. I'll see you next week.